Film's dead. Film is deader than a doornail, and you are the reason why. You ruined the film industry. I hope you know that. I hope you know that you, with your trash taste, you, with your wallet being willing to put down credit card numbers, hand over cash, and write out checks to pay for trash movies, you are responsible. You singularly and you as the collective, the trash taste having collective, are responsible for the downfall of the greatest entertainment medium in the world. But I really shouldn't be surprised. I mean, film's been going downhill a long time. I'm 57 years old. I have seen a lot of trash movies. I've also seen a lot of good movies. If you weren't alive between like 78 and 89, those were the golden years of movies. It didn't matter what genre you like. I'm not a big romance guy, but I will admit romance films from the late 70s and all through the 80s slaughter the trash romance films that have come out in the last 20 years. Action movies, don't even get me started. There's a reason they keep trying to remake action movies like RoboCop and Terminator from that time period. Horror movies, even more so. There is no originality in horror. That's why every single 70s and 80s horror icon is getting rebooted. But, you know, there are some things from the 70s and 80s that weren't so great, that don't deserve to be drugged to the modern era. And Spielberg, this crackpot director, this talentless hack, is one of them. First off, I don't even know how this motherfucker's still alive, much less how he's still competent enough to get behind a camera and direct a movie scene. I honestly don't think he had anything to do with it. They probably just made a backhand deal to attach his name to the credits, but operating under the assumption that Spielberg was directing, probably from his wheelchair, 1 to 2 hours a day whenever they'd let him out of the old folks' home. West Side Story is, without a doubt, the most egregiously offensive, disgusting, insulting, ridiculous, trash piece, SJW-filled piece of propaganda I have ever had to witness. And that is saying a lot, because I have seen the regurgitated garbage from this man's catalog that people rave over. You remember how Jaws supposedly took the industry by storm? Jaws was trash. Fucking Killer Shark. I'd rather watch Sharknado than watch Jaws again, but the idiots loved it. They got Jaws 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've been milking Jaws for 40 fucking years. And then this dumbass, he continued to go to work. Indiana Jones, the next big adventure franchise. First off, you got that dumbass motherfucker Harrison Ford, the guy with the emotional range of a piece of celery in your lead role. That was enough to ruin that film. Then came Jurassic Park. Oh, dinosaurs brought to life. Crikey! Except the movie was garbage. The plot had absolutely terrible pacing. It was a CGI fest. And wouldn't you know it, Spielberg set us up for the infusion of CGI into the modern mainstream. If you think about it, he's single-handedly responsible for all those trash Marvel movies, for the over-reliance on CGI. Spielberg is responsible for it all. And this son of a bitch is not content to just go off in a retirement home and ride off into the sunset, content with the damage he's done to my industry. No, he's still out here dropping absolute shit. West Side Story, now encapsulated in 1 or 2 sentences, is a romance musical that is the worst film of the year. And need I remind you, 2021 has been a complete dumpster fire when it comes to movies. We have had Spider-Man No Way Home, the biggest, most ridiculously insulting superhero film I have ever seen. We've had The Eternals, which completely broke the MCU. We've had Venom, undoubtedly the worst acting I have ever seen in a Sony movie. Tom Hardy cannot act to save his life. 2021's also been home to several video game adaptations that were complete piles of failure from the moment the opening credits started until the last word on the opening credits ended, including but not limited to, Mortal Kombat and Resident Evil Raccoon City. I have reviewed every product I just mentioned, and I do not say this lightly, but I will say it because it is what you need to hear. I am committed to the truth. You will not find a video where I lie. Brace yourself, clench your asshole, put something between your teeth, and bite down hard, boys. West Side Story is worse than all of them. I would rather watch all of them 100 times over. I would rather shove pin needles into my eyeballs. I would rather sit on a cactus and spin. I would rather shove a star-studded dildo up my asshole repeatedly until I had internal rectal bleeding before I sat through West Side Story again. I would rather drink Mother Teresa's piss straight as it passes through her vagina lips. I would rather take a hacksaw and saw through my own foot. I would rather participate in the BME Pain Olympics than watch this regurgitated turd again. I would rather sit on a glass jar and have it explode inside my asshole. I would rather bend over and get fucked up the ass with a 12-inch horse cock and then die than watch this pile of garbage. You have no idea what this does to your IQ. The plot is nonsensical. The plot is ridiculous. It is pandering to a 2021 audience filled with SJW snowflakes who want to believe they're all special and that life works on their terms. They can be with whoever they want to be with, regardless of the circumstances. They're going to find love, and life is just going to be the greatest thing to ever happen to them. Take a seat, kids, because Dead Metal needs to break the truth down. Dead Metal needs to tell you the way things really are. See, the cold, hard fact is Spielberg, and this is why he should never be able to write a word of a script. He should never be able to direct a scene because he lies. He lies in all of his movies. Note how they almost all have happy endings. Note that they almost all have some positive message. Kids, turn off your Spielberg and listen to your boy Dead Metal. The next 3 minutes are going to change your life for the better, even though it's going to be hard to hear. Life doesn't wait, nor does it care about you. You could end up falling in love with somebody who doesn't give a shit about you. You could end up wanting to be the next astronaut or a lawyer or a doctor or the next big scientist who's going to break through a massive discovery. And if you don't have talent to do it, it doesn't matter if you spend the next 100 years studying and working and pouring your life into one specific degree or a multitude of degrees or trying to get better and better at something. If you don't have that touch from God, the Midas touch that's going to make you excel above literally all of your peers, if you are not a 1%er, it's all for naught. It's all for naught. And I say this to you not to crush your dreams. I say this to you not to tell you that you shouldn't strive for things. I say this not to tell you that your life is a waste. I say this because too many kids grow up spoiled. They think the world's going to come to them on a silver platter. They were born with a spoon in their mouth. And turns out mommy and daddy were wrong. And the Gen Zers need to realize this right now. It is a critical moment because as the credits roll on West Side Story and you're all pumped up, you're excited, your heart's beating out of your chest, you were really into it, you're on top of the world, you feel like you can accomplish anything, you're going to take the message of the movie and you're going to apply it to your own life. There's only one thing waiting on the other side of that long hallway that ends in a door, and that is disappointment and the realization that Steven Spielberg himself makes crackpot movies filled with ridiculous messages that people from my generation knew damn sure weren't true, and that your generation is coddling you from seeing the cruel, hard reality of the world as it is today. Spielberg needs to be banned as a director. We don't need any more movies from this son of a bitch. All right? He does not know competent filmmaking. The shots in the film are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This man does not know how to direct film. He knows two things. He knows how to latch onto something successful and milk it for all it's worth. And two, he knows how to ruin the movie industry. Congratulations, Steven. I've been watching your films for going on 5 decades now. I have not been impressed with a single one. You need to go back to film school, kid, but, I don't know if they're going to give you ample time to get out of the retirement home to go learn how to put together a competently made film. But you should at least try. And you know what? I'll say this. If you've made it this far in the video, you deserve this. Because honestly, you are learning the ways of the world. You are willing to accept the truth. And you see past the lies of Spielberg and all these other popular Hollywood directors. I might cut this part out and make it its own video. Steven Spielberg. You owe not just Dead Metal, not just my audience, but you owe everyone who's ever wasted a single solitary second watching that regurgitated trash you call film a public, thorough, hour-long, if not hours-long apology, because your incompetence when it comes to filmmaking, your rehashed, regurgitated, and talentless ways of directing, and your shitty end products that do nothing but further send the movie industry down the fucking drain have cost us dearly. I've wasted I don't know how many hours on your films hoping, praying that you would put out something for the intellectual community. Those of us who like to be stimulated with higher brain pattern thoughts. We like to be stimulated with lingering questions. We like to mull over and analyze film on a deeper level. Your shit is surface level at best. Your shit is for the filthy casual audience. Congratulations. You've managed to ruin both the millennials and Gen Z now. You're a clown. You're a crackpot. You're a hack. You need to be dethroned immediately, and you need to be thrown back into the retirement home. The door needs to be locked on your ass, and they don't need to let you out until it is over, my friend. There are far more talented directors in this industry, like Michael Bay, who are doing what needs to be done. They are saving the movie industry, and you are trying to ruin it. Down with Spielberg. Hashtag cancel Spielberg. This man has ruined film long enough. And long live Michael Bay! Hey! Transformers for life, bitch. I'll take Autobots over your fucking dinosaurs any day. Clown.